Hello, everybody, and welcome to Real Madrid Hub. I am your host, Eric Rivera, and this is your spot for all things Real Madrid news. Well, January has been a tough time for Real Madrid fans. Of course, there's been a lot of drama surrounding the club, and notwithstanding, there's obviously been the losses in La Supercopa and Copa del Rey. There's obviously been a lot of drama surrounding Zidane's continuance, of course, the different players, and I think the biggest question mark has been obviously what is going to happen with Ramos, Sergio Ramos, and his contract renewal. Well, yesterday on El Chiringuito, Pipi Estrada basically, in his own dramatic way, expressed that essentially Florentino Perez had sent out the contracts to three players, and that three players, only one of the three players came back accepting the contract, and that was Luka Modrić. In this case, his words or what Pipi Estrada alleges is apparently that Florentino Perez said, in a lot of ways, whoever wants to sign them can sign them. It is what it is, and he also He alluded to the fact that Florentino was basically said something along the lines of, it is what it is, they can sign it, and if they don't, well, in a lot of ways, I guess, in the nicest way possible, they could take a hike. So where does this leave us? I mean, we had heard from another person on El Chiringuito, which is Eduardo Inda, that essentially Sergio Ramos had said he was not accepting offers from any other club and was putting the ball in Real Madrid's court. But it looks like Florentino Perez is not willing to play ball. And, it might be somewhat sad, but there was another article that came out from Jose Felix Diaz from Marca, basically saying that the talks between Ramos and Real Madrid, as well as Lucas Vazquez and Real Madrid, had stalled, and because essentially Florentino said, it is what it is. So apparently Florentino has seen everything that has happened with Barcelona, has seen what happened with other clubs, with millions of euros in losses during the COVID-19 pandemic, and he does not want to go down the same route. Remember, Florentino is a businessman first, and essentially his goal is to save as much money as he can. So I'm thinking, a lot of the news coming out that there are going to be no signings this year and all that kind of stuff are starting to ring truer and truer, and essentially it seems like Real Madrid is in a financial situation. I wouldn't say it's entirely negative, but they're essentially, Florentino Perez is trying to save as much as he can and cut his losses where he can. So it seems what Jose Felix Diaz says in his article is essentially as well that Florentino is making these decisions with his head and not with his heart, which can be sad for many Madridistas, because it's basically saying that he is going to think first in the best interest of the club, which may mean that he's going to have to cut players or get rid of players that people may love, but essentially sell them off. And, we're hearing more and more that Vinicius might be a part of the deal with Mbappe. We know that there's been rumors of, obviously, that Varane is going to leave at the end of the season. And there's other things going on, of course, the loan deals with Odegaard and Jovic, and that all remains to be seen is what's going to happen at the end of the season. But probably the most damaging thing, I guess, is right now is that it seems like everything that is going on around the Real Madrid camp and the Ramos camp is a feeling that they are not going to get to an agreement. Basically saying that essentially they are not going to renew Ramos, or they're not going to give him a better deal than what they've already put on the table for him. Same thing goes for Lucas Vazquez, but with Lucas Vazquez, I'll be honest, I'm not as interested, of course, in renewing his contract. If we got to cut losses and we're going to bring back some of the youth talent, then I think Lucas Vazquez is somebody that we can afford to lose. And, there was a big discussion on Chiringuito last night of who are the players we can get rid of and that kind of thing. But I think the most hurtful one is definitely the idea that Sergio Ramos and Real Madrid are not going to come to an agreement. We don't know 100% for sure. Ramos hasn't responded yet, or we haven't heard any response, of course. But from what we heard last night on El Chiringuito, basically Florentino has said it is what it is. You sign the contract, or you can leave. You feel free to leave. So that's it. That's all the news I got right now for Real Madrid Hub. Hopefully we hear more things during the day that might lift up our spirits. But that's it for now. Remember, you can listen to my podcast, Y Nada Más, which is available on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. As well, listen to my good friend Jota Real Madrid and Dr. Jota are his two channels, who he does this channel with me at Real Madrid Hub. So subscribe to all three and get your news for everything, all things Real Madrid.